Good evening, volleyball fans. You are looking live at Center Street School in Fairfield, Illinois, where tonight it's college volleyball action again. The Frontier Bobcats are playing host to Illinois Central College Cougars tonight. I'm Randy Olson. So glad you've joined us here live on AreaSports.net, your source for Frontier Bobcats sports. The Bobcats come into tonight's action fresh off 3 matches that they played over the weekend at Millikan University, where they went 1-2. They lost to Lincoln Land in 3 straight up at the tournament at Millikan University. They lost 3-1 to Illinois Wesleyan, but they defeated Illinois College, not to be confused with Illinois Central College that we see here tonight. But it was another big win for the Frontier Bobcats volleyball program, as Coach Marjorie Jordan and the girls came home with a victory over Illinois College 25-19, 25-12, and 25-23. The last broadcast that we had for you here on AreaSports.net from this same facility saw the Bobcats lose a tough match to Rend Lake College, a match that went 4 sets or 4 games, losing it 3-1. The girls continue to improve and continue to gel, and the good news is they've got one of their injured back again tonight, as Sarah Green has got the clean bill of health to be in action tonight, and she will be, as she has a little bit of a brace and some tape on that knee, but she is in action because last time we were here, of course, and we broadcast the game against Rend Lake College, she was on the sideline in crutches. So she has been released. She'll be a big part of the action tonight, I'm sure, for the Frontier Bobcats as they take on Illinois Central College. Someone asking me where to find the broadcast tonight. Again, it's AreaSports.net. I think we've got some people from Illinois Central College that are probably wanting to watch the game back home, and that's a nice thing about this feature, is that this is good for parents and fans and family members from both schools and both squads, as they have a chance to keep up with the volleyball action here tonight. We're about 3 minutes away from tonight's start of action. Again, the Bobcats have a full roster tonight, other than Alana Renner. As you know, she is out for the season, and she is helping, though, with things off the court and very much a part of the program and traveling with the girls, and certainly helped a lot with the setup tonight. She'll be running the video camera for the school this evening as they record the action as well. And so it's nice to have Sarah Green back tonight, and, of course, they recently received Grace Bora back in action after an injury as well. So a full complement of players tonight for Coach Marjorie Jordan and the Frontier Bobcats. This broadcast made possible, of course, by Frontier Community College. Also want to tell you about another event that is going on here soon that some of you will be interested in, and that, of course, is a big concert event. It's taking place down at Little Chapel Church in Harrisburg. That's on Thursday, September 29th at 7 o'clock. It's the Prodigal Tour featuring the Sidewalk Prophets. Tickets are still available for that concert event at the church office in Harrisburg or online through our website, where you can purchase and print off your own tickets at wvyn.org. Again, it's a very special event, the Sidewalk Prophets, on Thursday, September 29th, 7 o'clock at Little Chapel Church in Harrisburg. Also want to thank Wayne White Propane for their sponsorship of tonight's broadcast as well. Wayne White Propane not only sells propane and other sporting goods, including guns and ammunition, but they're also now your source for pool chemicals and the services provided to close your pool. Now, it may not feel like winter's coming when you stepped out today, as hot as it was, but believe it or not, winter will be here before long. It's just going to be too cold real soon to be in that pool much longer. So if you haven't closed your pool yet, you might be thinking about closing your pool, and the guys at Wayne White Propane can help you do that. They've got the chemicals and supplies and expertise needed in order to properly close your pool. Of course, if you need propane for the upcoming heating season, they've got it at Wayne White Propane. And again, they're also your location for guns and ammunition, and also gas grills as well at Wayne White Propane in Fairfield. Jaggers Doggy Daycare. They have added something new and exciting, and we'll be talking about that as we go on here in the broadcast this evening as well. Don't forget the Sports Couch comes your way on the Vine and on Area Sports each and every Saturday morning at 8:30. The Sports Couch is where we talk to local and area athletes and give you a recap of all the scores and things like that going on. The Sports Couch every Saturday morning at 8:30 live here on AreaSports.net and on 105.5 and 90.9 The Vine. We're about to have the introductions of the starting lineups, and we will follow along with the public address announcer as we do exactly that. Cougars of Illinois Central College in town. I believe we're going to have the playing of our national anthem here.
Illinois Central College Cougars and the Frontier Community College Bobcats. Please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Good crowd has been filtering into the gymnasium here again tonight to watch the Bobcats play in this home match tonight. Let's meet the members of Illinois Central College right now. Number 8 is Paige Pasley from Farmington, Illinois. Number 10 is Claire Milnes from Prophetstown, Illinois. Number 11 is Darian Baldwin from Lewistown, Illinois. Number 12 from East Peoria, Illinois is Brooke Jacobs. From Princeville, Illinois is number 13, Brooke Gardner. From Elkhart, Illinois, number 14 is Whitney Nichols. And their libero is from Morton, Illinois. She wears number 1. That's Maria Alfarero. And they are coached by Sue Sinclair. Now let's meet the Frontier Bobcats from right here in Fairfield. Number 5 is Jessica Rush from Norris City. Number 7 is Alyssa Kolak from Fairfield. Number 19, Sheelan Healy from Norris City. Number 20 from Reinert is Nicole Jordan. Number 28 is Abby Reeves from Wayne City. Number 33 from Ellis Grove, Illinois is Bobby Lake. Number 23 is Grace Bora from Fairfield. She is the libero. Of course, Marjorie Jordan is the coach in her first year of the Frontier Bobcats program. And they've got a couple of wins under their belt this season already. And looking for another one tonight. Going to have a tough matchup tonight, though, against this very tall Cougar squad from Illinois Central College. We're glad that you're with us here live on AreaSports.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at AreaSports.net as well. Cougars wearing the blue jerseys, of course, as you see right directly in front of our vantage point, and the Bobcats wearing the familiar black and gold. As I said at the top of the broadcast, the Bobcats won 1 out of 3 of their matches over the weekend up at Millikan University. Had a tournament up there. And they will try to build upon that experience tonight. Again, if you're not as familiar with college volleyball as you are perhaps high school volleyball, it is a best of 5 games, best of 5 sets in college volleyball. The first 4 games go to 25, and if it's necessary to play a 5th and deciding game, it goes to 15. And of course, in each situation, each game or each set has to be won by 2 points. Officials are checking some things at the scores table before we get started tonight. Different set of officials here tonight than what we had for the Wren Lake match. And serving first will be Illinois College. We're ready to get this match underway. Can't see her number right now. And here is the first service of the game, and it's dug out by the Bobcats. Here's the set. Bobby Lake with a spike. It's blocked. Dug back out again. Another set. This time it's put over by Jordan. Back to the Cougars. Cougars set it. They spike it, and it's a good one. And a point for the Cougars. They go up 1-0. Again, a lot of size on this Cougars front line. They got some tall hitters on that squad. Darian Baldwin from Lewistown is the first girl serving here for the Cougars to start this match tonight. And she'll serve it up again. Just underway. Serve is dug out. Now put over by Bobby Lake. There's a bump. There's a set. And the spike. That one's dug out nicely by the Bobcats. A set. And a little dink across. And it's good. Nice point by the Bobcats as Shaylin Healy dinked it over. Using a little finesse play there. And it's a tie score now at 1 apiece. And serving for the Bobcats is Healy. And there's a block at the net by Bobby Lake. Nice spike there, but a great block by Bobby Lake as she used her size to her advantage there, and the Bobcats go up 2-1. I tell you what, she is so improved over a year ago. Here's the next serve by Healy. There's a dig and a spike. That one's dug out nicely. Put across by the Bobcats. A set and another spike. Dug out again. Here's the set. The spike by Lake, and it's across and a point again for the Bobcats. Good net play so far by Frontier Community College. They're up here 3-1. And again, nice service by Shaylin Healy from Norris City, and she'll do it again. Gets this one across. Here's a set and a little dink across that time by the Cougars. Was effective in scoring, makes it 3-2. A little overcommitment that time at the net, and the Cougar player was able to recognize that and dinked it across, and it's 3-2. Serving now is their libero, and that's Maria Alfarova, a freshman from Morton, Illinois. And here's her service. Here's the dig, the set. Bobby Lake spikes it. And somebody's in the net. It's going to be a point for the Bobcats. It's 4-2, and they'll get the service again. We're in set number 1 of tonight's college volleyball action here at Center Street School in Fairfield. Jessica Rush from North City is going to be serving now for Frontier. She's the lefty. Jump serve is deep. Just a little bit deep. Just missed the end line, makes it 4-3. They'll give the service to the Cougars of Illinois Central. And one of their tall girls will step back on the line, and that's number 12, Brooke Jacobs from East Peoria. Long trip down here tonight for Illinois Central College to Fairfield. Here's the serve. And there's the dig. And that one got away. A little miss hit that time by the Bobcats. That ties the score at 4-4. Another serve coming up for the Cougars. This one's dug out. Play at the net, dug out by Lake. There's the spike that goes wide left. The attempted hit there by Brooke Gardner goes wide, and that'll be point for Frontier, up 5-4, and that'll be Grace Bora now serving. Bora gets across. There's the dig, a set, spike, nice dig on the other side by the Bobcats, and that one's in the net and hits the floor, and that's a point for Frontier. 6-4, Bobcats up. Early action here in set number 1. Grace Bora with another serve. The overhand shot. It's a dig, and there's a little dink across, but there's Rush to dig it out. There's a spike by Jordan. And another spike this time by the Cougars. There's the dig. Alyssa Kolak gets this one across. Here's a set. Pushed across. Dug out by Bora. Jordan with a pound. Still alive as they dig it out. Rush. And this time they can't quite come up with it, as it's off Cessna and into the net and out of the reach of Jordan. The point goes to the Cougars. 6-5. Frontier leading it. Illinois Central serving. It'll be Morgan, is that Morgan Twing, I think? Yeah. From Rock Island. And do the serving right now for Illinois Central. Just checked into the game. And here's her serve. It's handled by Bora. Here's the set. And the spike by Kolak. Dug out by the Cougars. And a spike wide left by Illinois Central gives the point to the Bobcats. 7-5. Frontier in front. This time it'll be Jordan serving for the Bobcats. We are in set number 1. Serenity Whitaker is checked into the contest for the Bobcats, and also on that front line is Lexi Pedke, along with Alyssa Kolak. Here's the serve. It's dug out by their libero. Here's the set and the spike. It's blocked by Pedke at the net. Still alive. Dinked across. Handled by Jordan. Now by Rush. And put across and put away by Whitaker. Serenity Whitaker from Clarksville, Tennessee, with the point that time for the Bobcats, and Frontier goes up 8-5. I talked to her before the match, asked her what she thinks of Fairfield, how she likes it so far. She said, hey, it's adjusting. It's not like the city, but hey, I'm liking it. Enjoying her time here at Frontier Community College, as that one is dug out by Jordan. Nice play. That one's pushed across, almost a carry. Hits the floor, and they're going to give the point to the Cougars. Makes it 8-6. Frontier leads it. Illinois Central will be serving. Hard to see those numbers from this angle. And that one is served up by Brooke Gardner. Whitaker sets it. Pedke gets it across. Dug out. Now another set by the Cougars. They pound it home. Nice pickup by Jordan. Whitaker puts it across. Still alive. Here's a set by the Cougars. Spiked and blocked, but it's blocked short of the net that time. It's going to be a point for the Cougars, and that brings this game closer to 8-7 now. Frontier leads it. Cougars serving. Again, it's Brooke Gardner from Princeville, Illinois. She's a freshman for Illinois Central, and she serves that one deep. Deep and wide that time. Makes it 9-7 Frontier. And the Bobcats will get the service now, and checking in to serve will be Abby Reeves, native of Wayne City. Reeves' serve is across. There's the dig. A set. A long spike. Dug out. Rush. Kolak gets it across. There's the dig by Jordan. Still alive. It's Rush to Jordan. Dug out this time, again by the Bobcats. They keep it alive as Rush gets it to Whitaker. That's blocked at the net. Kolak pushes it across. A set on the other side. And that spike is a good one as it could not quite be handled by Grace Bora. Makes it 9-8. That might have been the longest volley of the match so far. Another serve coming here by Illinois Central. Leah Turbush of Metamora served that one up. Here's the set by Rush. Across by Kolak. Kept alive by the Cougars. A set and a spike. Rush digs it out to Kolak. Back to Rush. She pounds it. It's high off the top, and it's going to be a point for the Bobcats. That one, I think, hit a little bit of the bracket or barrier up there near the ceiling, which are in play, and that time it bounced right back down into the Cougars side. So it's 10-8 Frontier, and Alyssa Kolak from Fairfield will do the service here. She gets it across. Here's the set. Spike. And Bobby Lake is there, but the block falls short of the net. So it's a point for the Cougars, and they will check in some new players into the contest. Baldwin will check in, and she'll come right in and serve right now for Illinois Central. Hope you're enjoying tonight's match. We got us a good one here on AreaSports.net. Very close right now in set number 1. It's 10-9 Frontier with Illinois Central serving. Here's a service. It's across. Rush sets it for Lake. Kept alive. Dug out again. Cougars still with it. They push it across, and it hits the floor right in front of the Bobcats' Abby Reeves. And it's a point for the Cougars, and this match is tied here in set number 1 at 10-10. Again, Darian Baldwin serving it for Illinois Central. Gets it across. Here's a set by Rush. Put across by Lake. Still alive by the Cougars. They'll set it. Put it across. A nice dig. It comes back across again somehow. Cougars again across. Another block. You got Whitaker and Lake at the net for the Bobcats right now. And this one's pounded across this time by Jordan. Here's a set by the Cougars. It's a spike, and it's a good one. Nice shot that time by the outside hitter there. That's Brooke Jacobs, East Peoria. She put that one away with authority. And the Cougars take the lead at 11-10. They had not led since 1-0. But they lead now here in set number 1. We play to 25. You got to win by 2. It's a short service that time. Put across by the Bobcats. Kept alive by the Cougars. Back across. Rush to Lake. Whitaker tries to put it across, but there for the block are the Cougars. And right in the center of the net was Claire Milnes of Prophetstown. And we got a timeout on the floor, and we'll take a little timeout here too with the score 12-10. A little run being put together here by Illinois Central College, and we'll be back with more in just a moment. Today's broadcast is made possible through the generosity of the Man Cave in downtown Fairfield. Have you been to the Man Cave with Gene Kolak? Lots of stuff for men, including knives, guns, photographs, coins, lots of collectibles, oddities, and conversation pieces. You can spend hours in the Man Cave, downtown Fairfield. Gene Kolak invites you to visit the Man Cave, a unique store with so much more. We appreciate his support. Welcome back here to Center Street School, where the Frontier Bobcats tonight are involved in a tough matchup right now against Illinois Central College Bobcats, or Cougars, I should say. Got Cougars and Bobcats going at it tonight. And it's 12-10 right now with Illinois Central in front. We are in set number 1. And as we come back after the break, Darian Baldwin will serve it again for the Cougars. If you're watching us online tonight, send out a tweet to us at AreaSports.net, where you can follow us on Twitter as well. Here's the serve, and here is the spike by Whitaker. Dug out again by the Bobcats. Pushed across, dug again. Still alive. Bobby Lake tries to hammer it home. It's blocked. Now Whitaker hammers it home, and that one goes into the net. 13-10. Some tall girls there on the Cougars squad here in this match tonight. Here's Baldwin with another serve. Gets it across. Here's the set by Rush. Bobby Lake puts it across, but we must have had a lift on that one. Yep. 14-10 now. It's been quite a run put together here by the Cougars. I think it's like a 6-0 run at this point. Another serve across, handled by the Bobcats, and blocked at the net as Rush was at the net trying to battle the much taller Milnes, and it was blocked right back across. It's 15-10. Baldwin with another serve. Put across that time by Whitaker. Saved by their libero. Dug out on the other side. Here's Rush setting it for Whitaker. She'll spike it. Handled by the Cougars. Blocked again by Bobby Lake. Back across, and this time could not be handled by Rush. And the Cougars continue their run here. They're up 16-10. It was 10-8. Bobcats just a little while ago. Cougars using their size to their advantage, and some good service going on here by Baldwin as she gets it across again. This one's pushed across by Rush. Now here's the set and the spike. That one's in the net, and that's going to be a point for the Bobcats, and that'll break the long streak here by Illinois Central, and Frontier will get to serve again. 16-11 is our score here in set number 1. Checking in is Shaylin Healy from Nora City, and she will serve it up this time for the Bobcats. Nice low serve. It's dug out. There is the set and the spike, and that was really pounded that time by the Cougars. A good effort there by Abby Reeves, but that one had a little too much mustard on it. 17-11 is the score. Illinois Central up by 6. In to serve now is their libero, Maria Alfarova. She is from Morton, Illinois. Here's her jump serve. It's handled by the Bobcats. There's a set by Rush. The spike by Jordan. Set and spike by the Cougars. Comes back across. Set again and spike handled again by the Bobcats. Here's Jordan getting it across. Saved on the end line. Now pushed across by Illinois Central. Here's a set by Rush. And the spike across, and Jordan gets it across the net, but I think we had somebody in the net or under the net. Either way, it's a point for the Cougars. They're up 18-11. Here is the serve again. This one's a short one, handled by Rush. Now to Lake. Back across this time by Reeves. Here's a set and pushed across that time. Little finesse play by Claire Milnes. 19-11. Illinois Central in control of this first set now after trailing for a good part of it. And that service is in the net by Alfarova. That's a point for the Bobcats, and they'll get to serve, and Jessica Rush is going to do the honors. It's 19-12. Bobcats will serve it with Rush on the end line. They have Pedke, Jordan, and Lake now at the net. And that serve is a little deep. Little deep. Unforced error there makes it 20-12, and I know that's the kind of thing that'll drive coaches batty, those unforced errors. In to serve is Brooke Jacobs for Illinois Central. She's one of those tall girls that have been pretty dominant at the net, and she serves it wide left. An unforced error now for the Cougars. Grace Bora checks in. She will serve it now for the Bobcats. Down by 7. Here's a set and a spike. Dug out, but into the stands. Rush did a good job of getting her hands underneath it, but couldn't quite control it. That one was in the stands, and it's 21-13. Cougars up by 8. Coming into serve is Morgan Twing from Rock Island. She's a sophomore for Illinois Central. And here comes her serve. Handled by Bora. Here's a set by Rush. The spike by Kolak is a good one. Kolak with the tomahawk that time. Gets the point for the Bobcats. Makes it 21-14. And now Jordan will serve it for Frontier. Nicole Jordan from Reinard. Whitaker checks back in. She's on the front line now, along with Pedke and Kolak. As Jordan serves it. Bora and Rush also in there. Here's a set, and the spike. It's blocked at the net. Still alive, though, by the Bobcats. Pushed across that time by Whitaker. Still alive as Rush sets it to Whitaker. She'll spike it, and it's a good point that time by the Bobcats as they stayed with it. 21-15. Coach Jordan trying to encourage her team right now. See if they can put together a little streak of their own. Another serve by Jordan. That one's dug out. Here's a set and the spike, and that's a deep one. Was it deep? Let's see the call. Apparently that was in. My goodness. It must have just caught the tape. From my angle, it looked deep, but I'm on the other end of the gym. 22-15. Cougars. That one's deep. No doubt about that one. 22-16. Illinois Central leads it by 6 here in set number 1, but it'll be a serve for the Bobcats coming up. And checking in to serve will be Abby Reeves. Reeves with the serve. It's handled. And that one's hit wide from midcourt. Brooke Jacobs couldn't quite control that one. 22-17. Bobcats did a good job keeping that ball deep. Let's see how this serve goes. Another deep ball. That one's pushed up by the net. The set and the spike dug out by Bora, but couldn't control it after that. 23-17. Illinois Central by 6. Leah Turbush from Metamora will serve it up now for the Cougars. Here's her serve. And hit deep that time by Whitaker. Too strong. 24-17. We have a set point here for the Cougars in set number 1. Turbush with another service. That one's handled by Jordan. Here's a rush. Put across by Bora. Here's a set. Put across by the Cougars. That one's blocked at the net, and it goes out of bounds. Again, good net play that time by the Bobcats. Bobby Lake checks back in, and Alyssa Kolak is going to serve. 24-18. It's still set point for the Cougars. So the Bobcats need to put about 6 together here if they can. Here's the serve, a set. That one's pushed across, blocked. Still alive. That one's pounded, and that is good, and that is going to be set point for the Cougars. They take game number 1, or set number 1, 25-18. 25-18 is the score as they win set number 1. And we'll tell you a little bit more about some of the sponsors making this possible, all right? Of course, Frontier Community College is a great place to jumpstart your higher education plans after high school with a variety of degrees, certificates, and transfer programs. You can enter such fields as health information, graphic arts and design, phlebotomy, automotive technology, construction technology, sports management, electrical distribution, paramedicine, fire science, and more. You can visit their website or stop by the admissions office at Frontier Community College and Illinois Eastern Community College Jay Edgren is the president of Frontier Community College. The phone number out there at the school is 842-3711. That's 842-3711. Jaggers Doggy Daycare has just installed brand new pet turf. That's right, pet turf. It's artificial grass for dogs. It's now installed on the outdoor playground at Jaggers Doggy Daycare, where they also have 3 indoor playgrounds for small, medium, and large dogs, including Tiny Town, Smallville, and Big City. There's also obedience training classes and dog grooming, as well as overnight boarding, all available at Jaggers Doggy Daycare, located at 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. And don't forget, you can go to AreaSports.net anytime, not only for broadcasts like you see and enjoy tonight, but also for scores and lots of archives. We've been doing this for how many years now? Long time. So you can go back and watch archives from, good grief, 10, 12 years ago. The technology's changed a lot in 10 or 12 years, I can tell you that. You go back and watch some of those earlier archives, you see some really grainy stuff. It's funny how video technology has evolved and changed over the years, but it's kind of neat because we've been a part of the technology and the cutting edge of it really since it started. I think we were the first sports website in Southern Illinois to video stream high school and junior high sports. And a lot of others have jumped on the bandwagon since then, since the technology has evolved and gotten better. And of course, smartphones came along. Obviously, before smartphones, things were a lot different. The only time that you could watch a broadcast was if you were at home. You couldn't watch it on a mobile device because mobile devices really didn't exist as far as the smartphones or the tablets like we have today. But technology is such now that you can carry it with you, and you can enjoy the broadcast on the fly no matter where you're at, and that's what kind of makes it interesting with what we have today. And glad that you're with us tonight, and hope that you are enjoying the broadcast tonight of Frontier Bobcats Volleyball. Again, we play the best of 5 sets, 5 games, and we're getting ready to move into set number 2 right now. Let's see how the Bobcats can respond now after losing that first one. The teams, of course, changed sides. And the officials are checking some things at the table again here before we get going. So nice to be in an air-conditioned gym for volleyball. Great accommodations here at Center Street School. All right, we are ready for the start of this second set. First service is by the Bobcats as Healy gets it across, but the point goes to the Cougars as they pound it away. 1-0. Again, a lot of size on that front line. Taylor Shaw, a freshman, checks into the contest now. She'll be on the front line for the Cougars. Serving it up will be their libero. That one's put across by Reeves at the net. Here's a spike and a block, and that's a good one, as both Bobby Lake and Jordan were at the net that time defensively for the Bobcats. Rush is going to serve now for Frontier. We're tied at 1-1 here in set number 2. Rush again, a lefty from Norris City. She puts that one across, even though it skims the top of the net. There's the set, the spike. It's handled by Whitaker. Here's the set by Cessna, but that one's hit into the net by Lake, and it's a point for the Cougars. 2-1. Illinois Central leading it. Brooke Jacobs will serve it for the Cougars. Handled by Rush, set by Jordan, put across by Cessna. Here's a set and a spike, and a good one that time by the Cougars as Taylor Shaw wound up and let her fly. She's a freshman from Anawan Illinois for the Illinois Central Cougars. 3-1 is our score. Cougars lead the Bobcats. Jacobs on the serve, handled by Cessna. Here's a set by Rush. Pushed across that time by Colvin, who's into the contest. Handled by Rush. Colvin to Jordan. She puts it across, and it's just deep. 4-1. Had the right idea, but just a little deep that time. Again, the Cougars serve it. Colvin bumps it. Cessna puts it across. That one's handled by the Cougars. Here's a set and the spike, and that one is off the hand of Cessna. Another point for the Cougars. Makes it 5-1. And timeout is going to be called by Coach Jordan. Well, again, Illinois Central College, much like many of the opponents that the Bobcats play, have been playing college volleyball for a long time, and that certainly does make a difference when you've been playing volleyball and you've had girls in your system for a long time and recruits in your system for a long time. We'll take a break and be right back.
Support for today's broadcast is made possible by Bill Atwood and North Wayne Insurance Agency in Sisney, located on the square, your local Pekin insurance agent. They stand ready to serve your insurance needs with professional, courteous service. North Wayne Insurance, your local Pekin agent in Sisney. Contact Bill Atwood and his staff at 673-2200. We appreciate their support.
Bobcats are back on the floor waiting for Illinois Central to break their huddle, and now they do. Head back out on the floor. Cougars lead it here 5-1, and they will be serving. Brooke Jacobs, one of the tall girls from the front line, who goes back to serve. She puts it across. It's handled by Jordan. Here's the set by Rush. Put across by Lake. But it's wide left, out of bounds. 6-1. Illinois Central in control here. Set number 2 is what we're in. Cougars won the first one. That's handled by Cessna. Over to Colvin. She'll push it across. Now here's the set and the spike, handled by Rush. That one goes high in the air. Handled by Colvin. Back across. Now a set and a spike, handled by Cessna. To Rush. Now across by Bora. Set, dinked across. There's Rush to get it. Put across by Colvin. And that's spiked down the line, and Bora does a good job of diving for it, but can't quite control it, and it's 7-1. Good play by the Cougars. I'll serve it again. This one's handled by Cessna. Bumped up to Rush. She'll set it for Lake, and she puts it across, and it's off fingertips of one of the Cougar players. It's a point for the Bobcats, makes it 7-2, and Frontier will serve, and Grace Bora will do the honors. Bobcats need to put a little run together here. Let's see what they can do. That serve is returned. Still alive. Dive by Kolak, put across by Jordan, and out of bounds. Nice play by the Bobcats. 7-3. Kept that one alive, and as long as you can do that, you got a chance. Served by Bora. Dug out. There's a set and the spike, and that's too much that time for Rush to handle. Outside hitter did a nice job that time, Brooke Jacobs, and she'll, well, I thought she was going to serve, but no, she's going to give up to Morgan Twing, who will serve. 8-3, Illinois Central. Leading it here in set number 2, and they're serving. Here is the serve, controlled by Jordan to Rush, now to Cessna. That one hits the top of the net. A little bit short, makes it 9-3. Another serve by Twing, handled by Bora to Rush. Across by Jordan. Here's a set by the Cougars. They pound it, and it's a good one. Out of the reach of Reeves. Taylor Shaw with a spike that time for the Cougars, makes it 10-3. At the next break, we'll put the schedule up on the screen and talk about future matchups here for the Frontier Bobcats. Here's the serve and handled by Bora. To rush, Alyssa Kolak tries to push it across, but it's blocked at the front of the net there by number 2, Grace Ashelman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ashelman from Roanoke, Illinois. 11-3. Cougars of Illinois Central leading it here in set number 2. They won set number 1. This serve is handled by Bora. Set by Rush to Jordan. Again to Rush to Jordan. This time it's Kolak to Bora to Jordan. And we either got a lift or we got too many hits. Not sure which it was. But either way, it's a point for the Cougars. They lead at 12-3. This Illinois Central team is tall. They got a lot of height there on that front line. Here is a serve. And that one's into the net. Short. And you don't realize how tall they are until you see them stand next to, say, Alyssa Kolak or Nicole Jordan. And they're taller. And they're using that size to their advantage. 13-3 is our score, and that one, did that hit the line? That was almost on the line, but it's deep. And it's a point for the Bobcats, and they'll get the service back here at 13-4, and Nicole Jordan will do the honors. Puts it across. It's handled by the Cougars. There's a set and a spike, and that spike is wide. No good. Point for the Bobcats. Makes it 13-5. Let's string some together now. What do you say, girls? Jordan again on the serve. Puts that one across. And Whitaker with the play at the net that time. Gets the point. Makes it 13-6. Whoa. Yep. I double check that call there. Point for the Bobcats, and Jordan will continue to serve. That was nice and deep that time, but it's handled. That's hit from mid-court. Set by Rush. Put across by Whitaker. Dinked across this time to Bora. Rush to Kolak, and a good spike. Alyssa wound up on that one and put it away. Makes it 13-7. When she elevates and gets wound, there's a lot of power behind it. There's Jordan with the serve. Dug out at the net. Put back across by Colvin that time. Across the net, handled by Bora. The set. Still alive. And Jordan gets it across. Cougars with a spike, and it's a good one. Off the net and off a Bobcat hand for a point. And that breaks the little run there by the Bobcats. Makes it 14-7, and Illinois Central will again have the service. And serving for them will be Taylor Shaw. Comes across, and that one is not quite able to be handled by Whitaker. A lot of mustard on that serve. (15-7). Whitaker bumps that one, though. There's Rush to Jordan. Handled by the Cougars. Across it comes. Nice dig that time by the Bobcats as Rush got it, but it got tangled up into the rafters and bounced around and bounced the wrong way if you're a Bobcats fan. 16-7, another point for Illinois Central, and they continue to serve. This one comes across, handled by Bora. To Whitaker, now to Jordan. She gets it across. At the net, here's the spike, handled by Rush. To Colvin, now to Jordan. Back at the net, and a spike, and it's a good one just off Alyssa Kolak's hand. She was there, ready for the block, but went off the side of her hand. 17-7. Illinois Central pretty quick at the net. Whitaker can't quite handle that one. Again, a lot of mustard on that serve. 18-7 our score. We are in set number 2. I don't have the record in front of me of Illinois Central, but I can tell you it's going to take a pretty good team to beat them. They got a lot of size, hit with a lot of power, cover the floor very well. A lot of interchangeable parts. 18-8 is our score as the Bobcats come back to serve again, as Abby Reeves will do the honor. She gets it across. Here's a set and a spike. It's blocked, but goes off the hands of the Bobcats and out of bounds, and it's another point for Illinois Central, makes it 19-8. Leah Turbush serving again. That one's handled by Jordan. Across the net. And put across by Whitaker. Here's a set, and that one's put down. Reeves to Kolak, and she handles it. Kolak got it between the two defenders that time, and that's kind of what you got to do with all that size they've got up there. You got to hit it where they ain't, so to speak. Who was a famous baseball manager who said that? And we got a little bit of an injury out here. That's not good. Abby Reeves is out there holding her knee. We don't like to see that. So we'll pause here for just a moment while they are tending to her, and we will be right back.
Underwriting on the Vine is provided by the Sports Zone in Fairfield, offering individualized classes and instruction in baseball, softball, basketball, as well as speed and agility. Membership includes unlimited use of both indoor and outdoor facilities. The Sports Zone is located at 204 West Delaware Street in Fairfield. The phone number is 599-5432, and you can find them on Facebook at the Sports Zone.
Well, we got an injury on the floor right now, as you see Abby Reeves there. I think it was either a knee or an ankle, not sure, but they're attending to her right now. Let's hope that she's able to get up under her own power and get back into the lineup here. I got the schedule up on the screen right now. You see the match tonight on the schedule there for September 7th, which is today, Illinois Central College. Next match for the Bobcats will be on the 12th, which will be next week, and that will be against Kaskaskia College. That will be a home match here as well, here at Center Street School. So if you want to come out and watch the Bobcats in person, we encourage you to do so. Come out and support the girls. They'll take on Kaskaskia College from Centralia, and that is next week on the 12th right here at Center Street School, and action starts at 6:30 p.m. Again, I want to remind you, Wayne White Propane not only sells propane, but they also can help you close your swimming pools. They've got pool chemicals, not only to maintain your pool during the swimming months, but also to help you close your pool. They've even got the personnel to professionally close your pool. So if it's that time for you, as it is for a lot of pool owners, contact Wayne White Propane and say, hey, come out and close my pool, will you? They've got the chemicals, again, and the expertise to do that. Also, Wayne White Propane, of course, has guns, ammunition. They've got gas grills. And, of course, as always, as the name implies, Wayne White Propane has propane. And believe it or not, it will be time to heat the homes real soon. May not seem like it, as hot as it was out today, but it will be time to do that here soon. Wayne White Propane has a nice hand for Abby Reeves as she gets up and gets over to the sideline with the help of a few others. Let's hope that she is all right. The thing about volleyball is that it's a kind of sport where you do put a lot of pressure on the joints, and I'm talking about knee joints, ankle joints, things like that. And many of these girls, if you stick around after the match, you will see that they will ice themselves up dramatically. I mean, a lot of them will put a lot of ice on their knees and, on their shoulders or elbows, different places, after a match, because they go through a lot. And even though they're young girls and they're very healthy, you still exert a lot of pressure. You tweak, you twinge, you stretch, you do some odd movements out there as you're trying to reach for balls and dig for balls and things like that. And while volleyball is not a contact sport, I guess you would say, like football and even basketball can be, it's still a very physical sport. And you see that if you follow much volleyball at the high school or the college level. And the Bobcats have had, their share of injuries, certainly. In fact, it looks like Sarah Green is checked in out there, and she is just coming off injury herself, as she has had, she's had one knee surgery, I believe, and she tweaked that knee again here recently and was on crutches for a while, and you see her wearing a big brace out there right now. She's on the screen. But she's a gamer, and she's going to give it a whirl. She loves volleyball, and she's going to get out there and play right now. Of course, she played her high school volleyball at Wayne City. 19-9 is our score. We're in set number 2, and Alyssa Kolak is going to be serving here for the Bobcats. She gets it across. It's handled by the Cougars. Here's a set and the spike. That's blocked by Bobby Lake, but it's out of bounds. And it'll be another point for the Cougars. It's 20-9. Another serve comes across. It's handled by the Bobcats. As Green got it. That one's pushed across. Still alive. Whitaker to Jordan. And it goes out of bounds. Well, they stayed with it, but couldn't quite get the point that time. You got Lake and Whitaker up there on that front line, along with Maddie Gillard for the Bobcats right now. 21-10 is our score. So that point goes to Frontier. And coming in to serve will be Healy for the Bobcats. Gets it across. It's handled by the Cougars. Here's a set and the spike. Jordan has it, and it gets back on the back line and out of reach for a return. 22-10. Cougars lead it here in set number 2. They won the first set. This one's handled by Bora. Here's a set by Gillard. Another set by Gillard. This time it's Jordan. She tries to ram it home, and she does. As it goes off one of the Cougars, and it's a point for the Bobcats. 22-11. Pedke is going to check back in for Bobcats. Alexi Pedke. Played her high school volleyball for Mount Vernon, although she's listed in the program from Woodlawn. Here's a serve by Gillard. Lefty puts it across. Here's the set and the spike, and it's blocked by Pedke or Lake. Okay, each might have got a hand on that one. 22-12. Bobcats not quitting. Put again over by Gillard. There's a set. Dinked across that time, and kind of caught the Bobcats unaware that time. That's good finesse play by the Cougars. Couldn't quite be handled there by Gillard. 23-12. Serve coming up now by the Cougars. That'll be Brooke Jacobs. That's off Jordan to Pedke. And there was already 2 hits, and so they had to get it across, and they didn't. It's 24-12, and we have set point here. Set point for Illinois Central. And Rush will check in for Gillard. Handled by Rush. Set by Jordan. Put across by Cessna. And it's good. Cessna, I think, put it on the line. 24-13. Point for the Bobcats, and they'll serve it up now. Here's a set and a spike. And that's a good one down the line. And that is set number 2 victory for Illinois Central. They now lead at 2-0. And the teams will change ends and will prepare for set number 3 here tonight. Again, the Bobcats facing a lot of size out there tonight. No question about that. Softball girls. If you look at the softball schedule there on the right part of your screen, you will see that the softball team will be going to Illinois Central College in a couple of days on the 10th. And they'll also be taking on Oakland City University for a doubleheader here real soon. So if you want to follow Marty Slover and the Frontier Bobcats softball squad, encourage you to do so. Teams are going to go outside and use the restroom and get them some water and stuff right now. Talk a little bit in the locker room before we come back to action here. Don't have any Bobcat coaches in the house tonight to be able to talk to and interview. Otherwise, we would be more than happy to do that. Again, want to remind you about the Sports Couch, though. You talk about interviews. We have a lot of interviews every Saturday morning from 8:30 until 10. It's 90 minutes of great local sports talk each and every Saturday morning. The Sports Couch on 90.9 The Vine and in Centralia on 105.5, and, of course, right here on AreaSports.net. I mentioned earlier that Jaggers Doggy Daycare has added turf. That's right, they've added turf, pet turf. It's artificial grass for dogs, and it's been added to the outside play area. And that's really something to see. And the dogs love it. And if you've got a dog that needs daycare or wants to spend the night or the weekend, or you're going for a little trip away for something, Jaggers is a place to take your dog. It's your dog's home away from home. Jaggers Doggy Daycare with daycare, dog boarding, dog grooming, and obedience dog training. A lot of people have dogs that may have some issues, behavior issues. Could be aggression, could be just other issues that need to be dealt with by a trainer. And Ken Fritz is the professional trainer at Jaggers Doggy Daycare. He's been doing this for over 35 years, and he can train all kinds of dogs, different breeds, and can probably help you. So check it out at Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon. Today's broadcast is made possible through the generosity of the Man Cave in downtown Fairfield. Have you been to the Man Cave with Gene Kolak? Lots of stuff for men, including knives, guns, photographs, coins, lots of collectibles, oddities, and conversation pieces. You can spend hours in the Man Cave, downtown Fairfield. Gene Kolak invites you to visit the Man Cave, a unique store with so much more. We appreciate his support. I want to tell you about a big concert coming up here soon on Thursday, September 29th. That's going to be at Little Chapel Church in Harrisburg. It's the Prodigal Tour featuring the Sidewalk Prophets. That's right. The Sidewalk Prophets on the Prodigal Tour are going to visit Southern Illinois and be at Little Chapel Church in Harrisburg. That's Thursday, September 29th at 7 o'clock. All tickets are reserved. That's right. They're all reserved seat tickets, and you can get reserved seat tickets or VIP tickets at the church office or online through the Vine website at wvyn.org. Tickets also available here in Fairfield at Hope in a Future Christian Bookstore, and also tickets available at Daystar Christian Bookstore over in Mount Vernon. You don't want to miss it. It's the Prodigal Tour with the Sidewalk Prophets on Thursday, September 29th at 7 o'clock at Little Chapel Church in Harrisburg. And speaking of the Sidewalk Prophets, their lead singer, Dave Fry, I'm going to be interviewing him next Monday morning on the Vine Morning Show. I'm going to sit in for just a little bit with Mark on the Vine Morning Show next Monday morning. We'll have an interview with Dave Fry, the lead singer and founder of the Sidewalk Prophets, and I'm sure that'll be an interesting conversation. So hope you'll tune in for that on the Vine Morning Show next Monday morning, as we'll have an interview probably just a little after 8 o'clock with Dave Fry of the Sidewalk Prophets. Again, both teams are currently in the locker room as they are discussing strategy and resting up, and also getting something to drink and come back out here for set number 3 in just a little bit. How about that Cardinal win last night? Was that not crazy or what? You know, it's never over until it's over, and last night was certainly the case as well. The Cardinals were down not only to their last out, they were down to their last strike last night. They had 2 outs and 2 strikes and an 0-2 count on Matt Carpenter when he hit a pinch hit home run to tie the game. And the Cardinals end up getting 3 more runs, had a total of 3 home runs in that 9th inning as they come from behind and beat the Pirates last night in Pittsburgh. Right now in the 4th inning, Cardinals and Pirates tied up tonight at 2-2. Mike Leake is pitching tonight for the Cardinals. First time he's pitched in about 2.5 weeks, as he was out for quite a while with the shingles. And he is back in action tonight and pitching for the Cardinals. Apparently doing okay. The Cardinals are still in at 2-2. As far as the race is concerned for the wild card, the Cardinals and the Giants are really battling things for that wild card spot. There's 2 wild card spots, as you know, now in the National League since they changed that rule here a few years ago. If the season were to end today, the Cardinals would be in the playoffs just ahead of the Mets for that second wild card spot. It would be the Giants and the Cardinals in that wild card, as the Mets are a half game behind the Cardinals in that wild card race. So it's real important for the Cardinals to continue to win while they can, because the Mets are playing pretty good now, as you got Cespedes getting healthy all of a sudden. And yeah, they're going to be a factor here down the stretch in this one. The Dodgers have a 4-game edge over the Giants in that National League Western Division, and it's amazing that the Dodgers have been able to do that with all the injuries that they have sustained this year, but they have been able to somehow maintain that and work through those injuries and continue to lead the Giants by 4 games. But the Giants are playing very good baseball right now. In the American League, been an interesting year in the Central Division, as the Cleveland Indians have kind of surprised everybody, I think. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. The Indians look like they're well on their way to win that Central Division of the American League, as they lead it currently by 5 games over Detroit. Toronto and Boston are in a dead heat for the American League East. Just a game and a half behind them is Baltimore. Texas running away with the West in the American League with a 8.5 game edge over Houston. So as you look at the wild card race in the American League, well, you've got a tie right now between Boston and Toronto for the first wild card spot. And then Baltimore is a game and a half behind them. So you got 3 teams battling for the 2 spots in the American League wild card, and you certainly have 3 teams battling for the 2 wild card spots in the National League, including the Cardinals and the Giants and the Mets. All right, the Cougars are back out on the floor warming up, and now the Bobcats are making their way back out as well, as we will prepare for set number 3 here in just a moment. Getting a few messages tonight from some of you on Twitter. Appreciate you watching. Yes, Rhonda, I got your message. Thank you. Glad that you're watching. And Philip, glad you're enjoying the broadcast tonight as well. Wish we had better news for you on the scoreboard than what we have, but you know what? It's a process here. And in order to build a volleyball program, it takes a little bit of time. The Bobcats have got a couple of wins already this season. Tonight they're up against a very formidable opponent in Illinois Central with the height that they possess, and they certainly know how to use that height. You see them warming up here in front of us, and definitely some tall girls. Well, we had it up on the screen for you earlier, the schedule, and we'll do that again. The Bobcats will take on Kaskaskia College next week for another home match right here at Center Street School. So a chance for you to come out and watch the Bobcats volleyball team play here at home. Then they're going to be going to Rend Lake College in a couple of weeks. And of course they had that match here with Rend Lake last week, which went 4 sets. That was very competitive, and all 4 sets were very, very close. So it'll probably be a tight one again when they take on the Rend Lake College Warriors down at Ina here in a couple of weeks. Also on the schedule for the volleyball program Yet to come here in September is Lewis and Clark. And then some more tournament action as well. Teams are huddling up, and we're going to get ready for more action here. As set number 3, we'll see if we see some changes in the lineup by Coach Jordan. See if some other girls will play here in set number 3. Or maybe the places on the floor might change somewhat as well. Yeah, it's good to see a nice crowd here supporting the Bobcats tonight. I'll pan over and let you take a look. See a fair number of fans that have gathered here tonight. And a good group of students, mainly baseball players, are sitting right over there directly behind the bench tonight too, all wearing their white Bobcats t-shirts. Good to see those guys over there tonight supporting Bobcats volleyball. All right, we're ready for third set action here as Darian Baldwin will serve it first for Illinois Central College, I should say. Here's a set and the spike by Whitaker. And boy, that one I think went off the face, off the nose perhaps of Jessica Rush. She's a tough one. She's going to wipe it off, keep playing. Here's one that's handled. Back across by Lake. Here's the set, the spike, and looked like it was going to be deep, but it was in. Got it just inside the end line. It's 2-0 here in the early going in set number 3. That one's handled. It's at the net. Rush to Jordan. Back across and just behind Whitaker for another point. Makes it 3-0. Bobcats have Lake, Whitaker, and Rush on the front line. And they have Healy, Jordan, and Bora on the back line as this one's handled by Healy. Here's Lake putting it across with the spike. Here's a set by the Cougars, and that one went too far. It went over, but it could not be handled by the Bobcats as Rush went after it. So what looked like a mistake in the set turned out to be a point that time for the Cougars. 4-0. Another serve. Comes across. Handled by Rush. Put across by Healy. Here's a set. And the spike is blocked by Lake at the net. But again, it's out of bounds. It's another point for the Cougars. It's 5-0. The serve by Baldwin. At the net. Dug out. The set. The spike. Nope, the dink this time. And there's a dive by Whitaker, but you can't quite get it. And it's 6-0. Big start here by the Cougars. They have put Whitney Nichols into the lineup now. She just checked in. Here's a set. Spiked by Whitaker, but blocked. Saved by Bora. Still alive. Gets it across, and it's a point for the Bobcats. Stayed with it that time as Bora went way out of bounds to go fish that one out. And that's a point for Frontier. Makes it 6-1. You got to stay with it. And she did. Cessna checks in. Kendra Cessna from Fairfield. She'll serve. Gets it across. There's a set and a spike. And it's in the net. It's a point for the Bobcats. 6-2. Cessna will serve again. Cessna is a sophomore. She played for the Bobcats last season. Puts this one across. There's a spike dug out nicely that time by the Bobcats. That spike in the net, though, bounces right back at them, and it's 7-2, and it's a point for the Cougars, and now they will serve. And it'll be Emily Zellhart. Emily Zellhart, Farmer City. She puts it across. It's handled by Bora. Here's a set by Rush, and the spike by Jordan. It's dug out. Double hit that time. 8-2. Another serve by the Cougars. Hammered home that time by Bobby Lake. Nice set and spike that time. Good combination from Rush and Lake. Lexi Pedkey will check into the contest for the Bobcats. She'll be on the front line there, along with Lake and Jordan. And serving it up will be Rush. She gets it across. There's a set and the spike, and that's blocked out of bounds by Lake. Good spike that time by Taylor Shaw. She's a tough freshman for Illinois Central. Really doing a good job on the outside, as an outside hitter there. In to serve it for the Cougars is Maria Alfarova. Nine to 3 is our score. Illinois Central leading it. That one's blocked at the net, dug out by Rush. Now Bora gets it across. Pushed up to the net and dinked across. Handled by Rush, but into the stands. She couldn't quite control it. Gallant effort there by Jessica Rush, but that one got away. It's 10 to 3. Alfarova with another serve for the Cougars. Gets it across, and that one's in the stands. She did this in one of the earlier sets. She can put a lot on her serve. Good placement. 11 to 3. That one's handled by Cessna. Put across by Bora. Here's a set by the Cougars and the spike, and dug out by Bora that time. Kept alive by the Bobcats, but can't get it across as Jordan couldn't quite control it to get it over the net. And again, a good outside hit by Taylor Shaw of Illinois Central. Timeout is called by Coach Jordan. It's 12 to 3 in favor of Illinois Central here in set number 3. Just joined us. Cougars won set 1 and set 2. And they are in control here in set number 3. Well, again, I want to remind you that Frontier Community College is a great place to jumpstart your higher education plans after high school with a variety of degrees, certificates, and transfer programs. You know, there's a lot of great programs for those who wish to go back to school, too. You don't have to just be straight out of high school. You can be what's called a non-traditional student. Go back to school later in life. Never too late to do that. A lot of programs that you can enter, a lot of different fields at Frontier Community College. Health information, graphic arts and design, phlebotomy, automotive technology, construction technology, sports management, electrical distribution, paramedicine, fire science, and more. Visit their website or stop by the admissions office at Frontier Community College and Illinois Eastern Community College. The phone number is 842-3711. It's 842-3711. That's Frontier Community College. Right here in Fairfield. Okay, 12 to 3, back to action as the Cougars continue to serve. And that one's in the net. Alfarova put that one in the net. It's a point for the Bobcats. And now Grace Bora will serve for Frontier. That one's handled by Zellhart. At the net, it's pushed across. Handled by Cessna. And Jordan tries to put it across, but has it blocked by the taller Claire Milnes. And again, Bobcats have been facing much taller competition all night long. And again, Milnes, I'm going to have to go stand next to some of these girls and see how tall they are. I'm 6'3". Some of them may be close to my height. 13 to 4. Cougars serving with the lead. Dug out by Bora. Here's a set by Maddie over to Alyssa Kolak, but her spike goes deep. It was Maddie Gillard that set it that time. 14-4. It's Morgan Twing in there serving again for Illinois Central. And I think we're checking something there at the scores table. Officials are. All right, now we're ready. There's the serve, handled by the Bobcats. Put across. There's a set and the spike, and that one is off Kolak and out of bounds. Bobcats have Cessna and Jordan and Bora on the back line. And they've got Pedke, up front, along with Gillard and Kolak. Here's a set, and that's dinked, handled by Gillard, and spiked by Jordan, but into the net it goes. 16-4, Illinois Central here in set number 3. And Sarah Green is going to check into the match here for the Bobcats, replacing Jordan. Green will take her position on the back line. That one's handled by Bora. Set by Gillard. Pushed across by Kolak, but blocked. Now Pedke gets it across. Still alive by the Cougars. They set it and spike it. It's blocked by Kolak. Still alive by the Cougars. Pushed deep. Set by Gillard. Kolak gets it. And now pounded home right at the net by Leah Turbush. Green came up to the net, got it across, but Turbush pounded it home, and it's 17-4. Still serving is Morgan Twing. She's been there a while. This one's handled by Bora. Pushed across by Kolak. It's Cessna. Now it's off Cessna. And another point for the Cougars. 18-4. It's a good volleyball team Bobcats are facing tonight. No question about it. Tough competition, but of course that's how you also get better, is by playing good competition. Good measuring stick to show you where you need to be and what you need to work on. As this one is handled. Put across, dug out by the Bobcats. There's a set by Gillard into the net. And couldn't quite get it over was Green. Another point for the Cougars makes it 19-4. And let's see, I think we may be having some substitutions. Let's see here, Coach Jordan talking. Nope, we're going to go ahead and serve. Twing serves it. That's handled by Green. Here's the set and the spike. Kolak tried to put it away, but it's dug out by the Cougars, and then they put it right in front of Grace Bora for the point. It's 20-4. Bora handles that return. Here's the set and the spike. Kolak gets it across. Another set. Spiked by the Cougars, and that one's put away by Taylor Shaw. She has been tough tonight, hitting from that left side for the Cougars. (21-4) is our score. Dug out by Green. There's a set. Pedke pounds it home, but it's dug out by the Cougars. And now they're saying apparently a lift by the Cougars. 21-5 is Bobcats score, and they'll get the service. Much to the delight of the baseball guys sitting over there behind the team. Sarah Green's going to serve it for the Bobcats. She does. There's a set and the spike. And that's put down by Leah Turbush. 22-5 is our score as a point goes to the Cougars. And now Taylor Shaw, who has killed us on the net tonight, will now serve. Handled by Green. She gets it across. Here's a set by the Cougars and the spike. And that one's hammered home. Green got a piece of it, but Turbush tomahawked it. 23-5. Again, the serve by Shaw. That's handled by Whitaker. Pushed across by the Bobcats. Here's a set and a spike, and that one's deep. That'll be a point for the Bobcats. Makes it 23-6, and it'll be service for Frontier. And coming in to serve will be Shaylin Healy. That service is handled. Here's a set and a spike, handled by Bora. Set by Rush, back across. Now set by the Cougars. There's a spike, blocked at the net by Kolak. And a lift by the Cougars will get a point for the Bobcats. It's 23-7. And that one is a good serve, but there is a spike by Turbush. Was that in? No, that was out. That was out. 23-8. Another serve by Healy. Here's a spike, and that one's deep. Another point by the Bobcats. 23-9. Hanging in there, putting together a little run here towards the end of this set, as Shaylin Healy continues to serve. That one's in the net. 24-9, and now we have set point and the match point for the Cougars. And coming in to serve will be Leah Turbush. And that one goes right between two Bobcats, and that's going to be the set and the match, as Frontier falls tonight to Illinois Central College, 3-0. Tough competition tonight, but again, as I mentioned earlier, when you play tough competition, hopefully that enriches your program and helps you to perhaps improve along the way. At least that's what we hope will happen. Glad you joined us here tonight for Bobcats Volleyball on AreaSports.net. Again, Illinois Central wins it in 3 straight. And until we talk to you next time, we'll say so long from Center Street School.